explore the wisdom of the revered Narada Bhakti Sutras, a cornerstone of Hindu devotion, with His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda. Experience 45 enlightening lessons on the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Discover the path to pure love for God and transcend the material world. Embrace the teachings that have guided devotees for centuries. Attain spiritual perfection through devotion. Prepare to understand the depths of divine love. Find your path to spiritual enlightenment. Trust in the sutras. Follow these instructions. Be blessed with devotion. And now, His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Tam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of negative qualities, dark forces, bestower of immortality. Narada Bhakti Sutras, Sutra number 48, Sage Narada is giving insight into the highest attainment in Bhakti Yoga. You must know that the highest attainment is always the same, whether you have followed the path of bhakti or jnana or dhyana or karma. In fact, as you move, you may have one yoga predominant, the other yoga join in. You can't tell them get away because I'm just following the one. We just follow. Some people are proud of following just the wisdom, jnana. But automatically, the feeling becomes highly purified. Once your mind goes on absorbing the splendor of God's presence, because jnana is to allow your mind to understand the entire universe is Atman, the self. Once you start absorbing that, how can you hold a petty-minded heart or petty-hearted heart? Your heart becomes magnanimous. So bhakti automatically joins in. You follow bhakti, jnana automatically joins in. So there is no problem. The problem is created by even people who are in earlier stages. Then they become confused. What should I follow? Bhakti or jnana or dhyana? The most important thing, follow all, because your personality is all together. You can't put your heart away, stay away there, I'm just following jnana. Or you cannot separate from your personality. Action goes on. Thinking, reflection, meditation, that also goes on. Sentimental, emotional world, that also goes on. Along with it, reasoning goes on. All of them are a well-knitted family. You separate any one of them, there will be trouble. But one of all of this, one of them is the boss. That means the leader. You can have bhakti, you can have meditation, you can have jnana, you can have karma. Those who are advanced, all this makes no difference. So now, yah karma phalam tyajati, karmani sannyasati, tato nirdvandvo bhavati. It's the description of one who has attained the highest goal, has become supreme bhakta. He crosses Maya. The whole world process is described like an ocean. Souls are constantly bouncing back and forth like so many waves in the ocean of the world process. nature has been very compassionate. That doesn't allow people to know all their past. Otherwise, you will have tremendous, staggering awareness within yourself. And that is Maya. Think of years back, 100 years back, where were you? Of course, it is easy for the masses to adopt the idea. It didn't exist. There was no nervous system, no body. And so all that came along with the parents. And this is the first time you have come, but you don't want to get away. Even after death, somehow you want to secure heaven. Also, you want to secure your identity. So if you go into heaven, you will see your parents, your grandparents, your generations that are coming also. So the whole crowd is increasing in heaven. That's a comfortable philosophy. That you have to rise beyond that. The entire world process is like an ocean. There's no identity. Who is identity? Today you are a father. Prior to that you were a son or this or that. In another previous embodiment you were in different area, in different family. Even if photographs of your 10 embodiments are brought to you, 10 embodiments, that could have taken, say, 300 years or so, along with some biographical notes, you'll be amazed. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Also, souls, they come into different conjunctions. Souls that have come as father, son, mother, son, brothers, sisters, so many. In previous births, the conjunctions were different. And who cares? This is the world of Maya. And no matter how good you are, or how wonderful karmas you may have done, unless you develop bhakti, devotion to God, or intuitive intellect, dhyana, you are not going to get out of this world process. You are going to move on again and again. If that is comfortable, nature is patient. Nature is ready to go on providing you new bodies, new situations, new circumstances. There's nothing else to do. It's omniscient, omnipotent. Nature is a Maya Shakti of God, Brahman. So who crosses over the ocean of Maya? He who gives up the fruits of karmas. Try to understand, karmas are for whom? Every karma that you do has a fruit in a distant future. Sometimes a karma gives fruit immediately. Most times karma gives you its fruit in course of time. Some karmas may give their fruit in this life. Some karmas seek out future lives. The idea that as a result of your karma, you will secure perfect happiness, that is impossible. Yes, you can have wonderful success in your karma, but that doesn't mean that you have secured happiness. For simple reason, fruits of karma are in the realm of time and space. And that realm is transient. is constantly changing. The world that was 1 minute before has moved away from you forever. Every moment you are facing a new world that requires very subtle intellect. But if you don't want to have that subtlety, what happened yesterday, yesterday's world has gone away. Tomorrow's world is not real for you. Today is what you are really handling it. That's your present. How will you use your present? That will depend upon your knowledge, your devotion. Basic point, all your attainments are in the world of transience. Just like someone were to promise you, I will give you a wonderful garden, and tells you, come to my house and I will show you how I will do it. Puts you in an entertainment place and lets you watch a wonderful garden in a TV show. And say, that's yours. Of course, that's ridiculous. But in a very broad point of view, all your attainments like a TV show. You have to correct the time process, but it's all a TV show. So what did you gain? If this becomes deeply understood, then it occurs within your heart. Let me discover that which will not move away from my hand, that which is permanent, eternal. Don't seek the projections that create the cinema show. Seek the screen. You have both at the same time. If intellect were to become pure, if your heart were to be filled with divine love, you will not be drawn to the world of projections. You will not be drawn to the vrittis of the mind, thought waves of the mind. Rather, you begin to learn the art of how to create the thought waves that would allow a profounder vision to unfold. The vision, I am the self. Let me use a simpler simile. You are like the sky. Clouds create illusions. If you become locked up by clouds, then you have a patch of blue. As a patch of blue, you expand, you contract. And that if you suppose you have developed that type of identity, attachment to that identity, you have a long story to tell where you have been, how you have contracted and expanded in so many ways, how many times you were stifled. Listening to all the stories, all the clouds begin to rain, tears. But while all this goes on, the sky is just the same. And every patch of blue is the sky. Renouncing all karmas means developing a profound insight that I am merely an instrument in divine hands. I am not the doer of karmas. Another point, it means that you are not looking for the result of karma to improve your deeper nature, because it can't be done. Projections cannot improve the screen. Clouds cannot improve the sky. All your projects, no matter how great you have been, and all your successes will not improve your deeper self. Then therefore, what's most important, how to realize, how to attain purity of heart. Performance of karma has two aspects, two goals before it. One, achieving success in the project. And if you don't achieve success, your mind is agitated by it. Another, doing your duty, your mind is not focused on the fruit of karma, but focused on how best can I perform it, because it is a form of worship of God. And therefore, it creates in your heart relaxation, what we call purity of heart. Your mind is very foxy. When it tastes the purity of heart, how joyous it is, then it begins to yearn and realize it's much better to live in the world, generating more and more purity of heart, coming closer and closer to God, shake hands with Him, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. All else, the whole world is all else. And that becomes a very simple. That profound wisdom is blowing in the wind. The human mind doesn't catch it. What you really look for is to have a heart that relaxes, stress-free. It has the light of wisdom and it has the sweetness of divine love. It is an abode of light and bliss. Light, love, and bliss. So whatsoever you do, that should be the target. How can it produce purity of heart? But purity of heart is a progressive attainment. And it will require, at times, great challenge, great adversity. But even adversity, for the sake of love, has a sweetness behind it. You do something that puts you in great trouble, but you are doing it for someone whom you love intensely. So even adversity has its purpose. So much so, to a devotee, adversity and prosperity become just the same. And also, success and failure in your karmas become just the same, because you have switched your focus. Instead of fruits of karma, purity of heart. That in any way does not diminish your capacity for doing karmas. Rather, it makes you much more dexterous, much more qualitative, and in every way, the world is benefited when you renounce karmas. These are subtle points. Generally, people become confused. What will happen if all people renounce karmas? Where will the world go? Who gives up the fruits of karma? He renounces the karmas themselves. This, who is the doer? That's illustrated in the Kena Upanishad, where gods and demons, gods fought against demons and attained victory, and then they were bragging about how they did attain victory. And divine self, in order to bring them to understanding, appeared before them like a great yaksha, great and mighty being with many arms, many heads. And they were just rejoicing their success. And they see a mighty personality. They don't know what has happened. Where has that come from? So the gods sent wind god. Find who this personality is. Wind god goes there and is awed by the majesty. Nevertheless, summons up all his strength, goes near, and the Yaksha asks him, "Who are you?" The wind god, who was very proud, everybody knew him. In the three worlds, without energy, wind god is energy. Nothing can exist. And here is someone who asks him, "Who are you?" The wind god says, "I am powerful, most powerful Matarishwan, wind god. I can blow away the three worlds just like a straw." As if all this was just a straw. Yaksha creates a magic, places a straw right in front of him, and tells him, "Blow it this away." The wind god was extremely insulted. To give him some bigger work than that. However, he huffed and puffed. Couldn't blow away a little straw. Bowing his head, ashamed, he went back. He tells the assembly, "I don't know who this person is." Fire god goes there. He also does the same thing. All that story shows that all your accomplishments have their source in God within you. It is God who is accomplishing through your personality. So don't let ego take the credit. Don't create also the illusion of soul, that my soul had done it. Your soul doesn't have any existence because soul is a ray of God, a reflection of Brahman. It doesn't have its own individuality. And all achievements are also in the realm of Maya. What do you achieve? If in your dream world you planted a big tree and tree is flourishing, waking up, you don't find a single fruit. So therefore, all this needs to be assimilated gradually. Renouncing karmas themselves, that means deep down you develop that understanding, awareness. I am not the doer. Thus become free of Dvandvas. Your mind is always looking for freedom from agitations created by Dvandvas. Dvandvas are pairs of opposites. Pleasure and pain, gain and loss, hot and cold, comfort and discomfort. These are simple pairs of opposites, and there are many complex pairs. Human mind is always happy when there is positive things, when positive things develop, joyous things develop. But when there is negative situation, mind develops the notion that time has been wasted. Alas, what negative karma did I do? So many months have passed, I didn't achieve anything. Loss and loss. But that's ego-dominated mind is evaluating things. If you step beyond the ego and look at things from a broader point of view, you gained more when you were facing adversity and loss, because at least it diminished your ego and your pride. And if you had positive samskaras, it turned your mind to prayer, brought you into satsanga. So many things happened. Therefore, highly advanced mind, or as mind advances, Your focus is how to stay serene. Stay with the idea that God is with you. Put it another way, you are a child. You are in the arms of the mother, well protected. So even though it appears like you are facing adversity, there is always a divine backing. This requires a lot of sadhana, a lot of alertness of the mind, because it is a habit. It has developed day by day. Day by day, you go on impressing the mind that certain things should not happen. And day by day, go on impressing only the good things, things that ego says should happen. So much so it happens that when things do happen, you don't believe it. People immediately invite people to have a party so that mind is not so inflated. But there lies the error. You can follow the worldly ways, but make this superficial. Adversity and prosperity, you have nothing to do with it. Your mind has the same opportunity to sit back in the arms of the Divine Mother. And all that you need to do is not to do anything. Allow your mind to understand this point more and more. And stop doing anything. When you want to sleep, all that you have to do is do nothing. If that drips into your mind, that goal of serenity, then that's what counts. Nothing else counts. Then you are on the way to highest attainment. When the love of God becomes increasingly realized, you are drawn to God and God is drawn to you. There are certain points to promote this. First, called Puja Bhav. Try to develop that attitude that when you have a project, you are worshipping God through that project. Every work you are doing is a kind of worship. Don't think that in order to be a devotee, you have to go to a temple and stay on worshipping from morning till night. But rather, whatever work comes to you, it is a form of worship. Next point, anasakti bhav. If I work, you need to be always detached. The work should not restrict you, taint you. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gave a simple illustration. If you are cutting various vegetables, rather especially a vegetable like jackfruit or platanos, bananas, your hand gets a lot of glue. The simple way of avoiding it, moisturize your hands, oil up. With oily hands, you cut them, you touch them, the glue doesn't get into your hand. All that you have to do to oil your mind. Developing love of God. You may say, well, if I knew where he is, I would have loved him. All people around you, they are rays of God. If your love becomes more magnanimous, you are loving not because you are expecting. If that type of love were to develop, high quality love, which is ultimate goal of all sentimental loves, then you are turning to God. And if that is so, limitations don't touch you. Your mind gets so oiled up. That's a very simple rule. Generally, people say, I'm so attached. And how can I detach myself? I ran away several times and still I went back. The answer is not to run away. If you want to detach from someone, serve that person profoundly. Develop divine love. And then you see the miracle that God does. When you have done well, loved well, you are like the sky, detached. Nothing touches you. But when your love is restricted, love that asks for pleasure, nothing more, then your hand is very dry. Everything gets glued up. The anasakti bhav, that's profound art to be developed. Detach from the world, be attached to God. Generally, people think that these two are two different areas. Move away from the world and here's towards God. And not so. There are two levels. Same object. Looking at it, name and form. That's the basis for your attachment. You are being attached to name and form. But beyond name and form is God. Detach from names and form, be attached to God. Mathematically sounds easy. But that's a profound goal when we speak of love, devotion. Many people make terrible mistakes. They are always turning to the world as this world is petty, very petty. I must turn to God. That's the most misunderstood teaching. All sages and saints, they are known for their compassion. When the heart is filled with compassion, they don't see anything negative in the world. So the idea of constantly running away from little people, from the world that is after you, catching you from both sides. The miracle is you turn that world into God's Maya, God's Leela. And your duty is to serve. No one is here permanent. Everyone is a soul. Even if someone is your terrible enemy and suffering from thirst, bring water. And tell him after drinking it, you can start talking. Start scolding me. All human values of being hurt, seeking revenge, all these become ridiculous for a mind that is highly advanced. Anasakti bhav. Nimitta bhav, I have an instrument which I have described. Sakshi bhav, develop an attitude, I'm just witness. You look through your windows, see the clouds moving back and forth. And it entertains your mind. But the moment you begin to feel that certain clouds should stay in the same way, then you are no longer a sakshi. You have become involved. And then your mind gets agitated. I prayed to God to keep that cloud in the formation of Om. It was doing that, but suddenly, so you have created in your mind unnecessary moderation. That's the sakshi. Developing that type of vision that I am just the observer. All things you experience, they are reflecting in your consciousness. And that consciousness is just like a sakshi, a witness. If you adopt that attitude, you are trying to create it. It will not be perfect, but that attitude is bringing you closer to that awareness regarding the revelation of consciousness. Now, let me give you a simple illustration. You are seeing your face reflected in a mirror. You and your reflection may have certain sentimental reaction. Mirror is a sakshi. It remains just the same. All your experiences are reflections in consciousness. And that consciousness, you are essential. Vedanapi sanyasati. Kevalam avichinna anuragam lavate. Further extension. Who crosses over the Maya? He crosses Maya who renounces even the Vedas and attains pure, uninterrupted flow of ever-increasing divine love. Now, renouncing even the Vedas, you must realize it was well known in old times. Whenever we talked of Vedas, it related to karmic rituals. And when we talked about Vedanta, it related to Jnana Marga, the path of wisdom. So first step, renouncing the ritualistic realm of your sadhana. Rituals go on promising you various rewards. That Karma Kanda had its own purpose to lead people to deeper waters of Vedanta. One who is a devotee renounces those teachings of the Vedas that support sakamya karma. But you go one step further. You renounce when you attain self-realization, you attain God realization. You do not look into the dictionary of the scriptures. Is he real God? You don't need any reference from the scriptures. Highest attainment is spontaneous. Scriptures become natural to you. Whatever you do becomes a scripture. So naturally, Vedas, all Vedas and all scriptures are transcended. Otherwise, you have to carry a big book with you. And there is uninterrupted flow of ever-increasing divine love. And that's possible for every individual because it's ever-increasing. So day by day, no matter whatever may be your circumstances, by changing your attitude, first to realize prosperity and adversity, both are two ways, two modes of God's love for you. Just like mother loves the child, but there are many things the child would have liked in a joyous way, mother doesn't want to give them. She doesn't want to give a child a lot of clay and unnecessary things to eat up. And also, each time the child has become muddled, put the child into bath, etc. The child doesn't have always a joyous time, no matter how wonderful a mother. Mother has always a joyous time, no matter whatever is needed for the child. And one thing is there, this deep down in the child, the trust and the experience of profound love. It is that which allows the child to bear through all variations. If the same simile can be adopted in relation to God who sustains you, then you have no problem. Day by day, you are with mother, growing. Your love for the divine mother, love for God goes on growing more and more. The question, when will I gain it all, never arises in the mind. Let it go on for eternity. You are growing. Same world can become an amazing source of joy in spite of all the external variations. Or even the best of circumstances in your life can become most miserable. Believe it or not. And with this we conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.